It's been 4 months since devastating floods hit southwest Queensland, and tonight we're taking you back to some of the worst hit places to see how they're faring now. Let's go live to Jessica van Vonderen in the town of Quilpie. It's about 1,000 kilometres west of Brisbane. Now, Jess, what have you seen while you've been out there?
Well, Lexi, certainly big blue, beautiful skies and wide open roads here in this remote part of Queensland, but also still evidence of some of the damage that was caused by those floods that hit back in March and April, covering an area twice the size of Victoria. And certainly in a little place called Adavale, there's only about 24 or so people that live there, but they all had to be helicoptered out of town at the height of the floods and flown to safety here in Quilpie. Now, some small businesses there, they are open again, but homes still need to be repaired, and some residents are calling for the whole town to be relocated. It's a vast country out here, with sunsets that'll take your breath away. Wildflowers dot the drive 11 hours west of Brisbane as we make our way to Adavale. 4 months ago, the town was swamped by an inland sea.
We were just hit with a wall of water after a bomb of rain.
Were you scared?
Yes, I was scared.
Christina Zito's cafe was shut for 2 months while she cleaned up. Cake and coffee is now back on the menu.
Go, that's your orange cake.
But there's still so much more to be done.
So underneath the building, the stumps have been compromised, so the house needs restumping.
Where'd the water come up to?
Well, the water came up to here.
The local publican was away during the floods, but returned to a muddy mess.
I saw devastation because there was rubbish everywhere. I saw the 2 toilet blocks out the back of the pub basically blown away by the water.
But he loves the history of this place and is not convinced by talk of moving the town.
I personally probably don't really want to move. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be the same up on a hill.
But the idea is being investigated, with the council waiting on a report looking into the costs.
Where we're standing here was above our heads of water at the end of the day.
Heidi Cowley hopes they do relocate for the sake of the kids. The floods and the emergency rescue from their rooftop was just too traumatic.
Our kids are in that chopper.
We don't want to put all our blood, sweat and tears and money and everything into rebuilding down here if they turn around and go, oh no, we're going to move you up there.
Floods inundated towns and farms too. Latest surveys suggest 110,000 cattle, sheep and goats perished. Another 106,000 are still missing. 8,500 kilometres of fencing was damaged. But life is returning to the land, while the people wait for answers on their future.
Council keeps saying us just move on with your life, but how do you do that when there's so much uncertainty? And the Quilpie Shire Mayor Ben Hall joins me now. Mayor, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Hi Jess, and welcome.
Thank you. Residents in Adavale have been through quite the ordeal. They're full of praise for the way the council's helped with the recovery, but what they really want to know is whether the town's going to be relocated. What are the chances of that?
Jess, it's a lot easier to say than it is to do. We're finding out, and as everyone would appreciate in that. We're fortunate that the state government have been able to give us a person to work through and build some reports around the options that we can present to that community, and in consultation we will take them to the community and just see where we end up with that.
What are the main obstacles? I assume probably cost is one of them?
Yeah, cost is a big one, not only to council and whoever else has got the biggest checkbook to help us out with this, because we don't have the resources to do it, and also the individuals, there will be an impending cost on them as well. So yeah, there's a lot of factors to consider and a lot of obstacles. So
you'd need state, federal funding to make that happen?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we simply do not have the resources to do it, and work through the process of doing it even. So yeah, we're flat strapped and recovering with what we've got to do also not forgetting the people up there have a dire need. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned that report that is being prepared. When are you expecting to get that? So when would residents have an idea of what those options are?
Yeah, we hope to have that sort of finalised and in that frame out position at the end of August, or maybe early in September. So yeah, we're pinning our hopes on that being able to go into the community and give them those options from that report, and just work through it with those community people.
Mayor, thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it.
Well, one of the common stories that you'll hear here is that people just don't have flood insurance. It's just simply too expensive, and that is certainly the case in Thagamminda. Residents there are now grappling with the cost of rebuilding their homes, and the tyranny of distance is just adding to the challenge.
Returning to her ravaged home is still a painful experience for Megan Riley.
The more you look at it, the more it just upsets you.
When floodwaters reached Thagamminda in April, the town was inundated.
Some of the debris coming down.
Only a handful of homes were left untouched.
You could see the water line, and I just knew. I opened up the door and everything was everywhere.
4 months on, more than 30 families are still living in caravans. Ms. Riley plans to demolish her house and truck in a mobile home, as she can't afford to rebuild.
Getting a builder out here and, materials to do so is just exorbitant because of the distance.
Local tradesman Jeff Pike has never been busier. He says the cost of building a home in the outback is almost double the cost of building in the capital. And even if you can get a tradie, there's nowhere for them to stay.
Limited by beds, so we've brought our own caravans in to accommodate the extra people that we've got.
Mr. Pike has organised a portable campsite to be trucked to town to increase the capacity for workers.
It's been a perfect storm for many Thagamminda residents. Those with insurance have had their flood cover more than double in the past few years, even before the flood, and those without left to cover the cost of rebuilding themselves.
Thagamminda's slow restoration could take years. The painstaking process only made easier by the close-knit bush community.
The help and the community getting together has just been fantastic. It's just it's pretty overwhelming.
For Megan Riley, it makes picking up the pieces worth it.
You wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Grace Nakamura, ABC News, Thagamminda.
Well, here we are talking about flood recovery tonight, and I can tell you there's rain on the forecast tomorrow, something like 20 millimetres possible here in Quilpie. Lexi, obviously that's nothing like what they saw back in March, but still the prospect of rain giving something locals to talk about.
Certainly not surprised. Thanks, Jess.